Hey, I'm live. I don't know how long I was live. It was spinning and spinning and spinning. Good morning. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's a free for all Friday. We're going to play Name That Player today. I'm going to give probably a hot take about the news that dropped yesterday regarding eBay cutting off breakers. I think it's a good thing. And I know that's probably not a popular opinion. Especially those that did some breaks on the side. But I do think it's a great thing. I want to go into that today. We're going to play Name That Player. It's the day before the Madison card show. Earlier this week, I'm like, man, I need an extra day this week. I think I'm ready. I was down here in the rec room watching the Cubs game. How about it? Sweeping the first place Pirates. Cubs are now just 3.5 games behind in the NL Central. Stroh looked awesome. Offense looked good also. So I was getting stuff right, and I hate, and hate's a strong word, I hate being in a holding pattern. And I felt like last night and today, this morning, I'm going to be in a holding pattern in terms of what I take to the Madison card show. I have everything ready. I just can't start loading it into my car because my car is filled with bulk that hopefully I get rid of this afternoon. So we were supposed to do the bulk deal on Monday, but my buyer got a little delayed. So only Friday would work. And I'm like, earlier the better on Friday, man. So hopefully, because if it falls through today, I'm going to be, because I'm not going to bring the stuff back down into my basement. I may have to just get creative and find every nook and cranny in the rest of my car to put my inventory for tomorrow's Madison card show. Booked a few more tables yesterday. So we're getting close to, I think, 110 tables now. Sellouts 125. So still some tables available. I've got some good dealers. Like it's certainly quality. Not that it's not quality in previous months, but some really quality dealers coming up. There's really no shows in Illinois tomorrow. So they're all coming into Madison. So a lot of Chicago dealers coming up. So some new guy, David Ramsey's coming up. David, I've actually bought some quite a few pre-war from David. He's got an amazing tobacco card T206 collection. So he'll have a lot of tobacco and pre-war. Other dealers, of course, Greg, who's been setting up regularly. He's got a great tobacco card display as well. Jim's back. Jim Lyon, one of our show sponsors. John is back from Cards in the Attic. It's been several months since Cards in the Attic, and he's got a nice selection of vintage. Let's see. My buddy Max is setting up for the first time. So Max will be in the house. Let's see. Tom, and I can't even say Tom K. I've got two Tom Ks. Tom K from Chicago will be in. He's got a huge sealed wax selection. So he'll be setting up for, I think, just his second time. Terrence Wimberly will be set up. His first time as a dealer at the Madison Card Show. Looking forward. Terrence is always wheeling and dealing. He's a jet setter. He's always going off to national shows. So having Terrence in the house is going to be awesome. My buddy Jeff, in kind of like the opposite of what Terrence is going to have, thousands and thousands of dollars in cards. Jeff has awesome bargain boxes. Zach and Porter know Jeff. So Jeff's going to be in tomorrow. Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free admission. I'll be set up. I'll have bargain boxes. I'll have top loaders, card savers. Probably not any penny sleeves, because I did not put a penny sleeve order in with my most recent supplies order. So, man, the new house, man. So part of the reason why I'm not bringing stuff back into the basement is because it's crunch time with the new house. We are less than a month We close on this house July 14th, so we've got to be out like July 13th. Here's the dilly of a pickle. We're like delayed on things. I think some of our appliances, the earliest we can get them delivered, July 12th. And you need those to get an occupancy permit. So it's not going to be, the new house is not going to be finished by July 14th, but fingers crossed, toes crossed, throw a penny in the wishing well, we can get in, because it's July's a freaking crazy ass month. We close here on July 14th. I've got my best friend's wedding that weekend, July 15th. Hi. And then the national is what, 10 days after that. So I'll have a little bit of a break in between, but the stress level was high yesterday, and it will be for the next week, the next month. So things are getting done, but not as fast as we would like them to. So a little stress there, a little stress. So just getting out. So yesterday we were dealing with this, and I'm just like, oh my God, I went over to the house, make sure it was locked up. I had to take like inventory of some of the doors, make sure we have everything in. And I'm like, I need a beer. So I really wanted to just get out of the house, forget about cards and forget about the house. So I texted my buddy Mark. I'm like, hey, let's hit up the Riley Tavern Beer Garden. And he's like, dude, it's like the one day a month I have something going on. I'm like, oh. So had a couple blue moons in my basement watching the Cubs game last night. So would have liked to get out, but I could have, but it's no fun, because if you just go out on your own, it's like, I'm just thinking about all this stuff anyway. I might as well just think about this stuff in my basement. Shane Koopmans is in the house. What's happening? We're going to talk eBay today, and my hot take on why I think it's a good thing breakers are getting cut off from the eBay platform for the most part. David, good morning. Happy Friday. We're going to play Name That Player today. I'm just going to grab a stack of packs that I have over here. I did not buy, I mentioned yesterday morning, maybe I'll go buy some Series 2 and some Heritage Blasters. I did not, and I'm not going to today, unless I get a hair up my ass when I'm over at the Sheraton doing some setup. I got all the Form S240s printed out. Yay. I'm looking forward to that conversation with half the dealers tomorrow. If you are a dealer listening right now and you have any I can't answer really any I can answer to 2 questions you might have. But if you do have any questions, comments, concerns, please just throw them at me now. Shoot me a text, email. I don't like phone calls, but because texting, I can just like hammer it out. Boom. I can email and still work. Phone call like requires you to like actually stop what you're doing and make a concerted effort, where I can just boom, text, email. So if a dealer is listening, you have any questions, just shoot me a text or an email, and I can try to answer those for you, because it's going to be so hard, because I am set up tomorrow and just running the show, setting up. I'd like to limit the conversation, especially about this bullshit. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, just hit me up by text or email before the show. Otherwise, if you're there early, I'll talk about it like early in the morning. But if you're showing up at like 8:30 to set up and you want to talk about it, I don't really have time at that point in the day. I will after the show and very early in the morning or today. So for any dealers that might be listening, Joe Olivo is in the house. What's happening? Victor, good morning. Brian Dean is here. Donald Davis, what's up? Tracy, good morning. Mark Marinello in the house. Scotty Dubs is here. God is great from the rising sun in Japan. Good evening to you. Ziggy No is here. What's happening? Cheers to you. Zach says, I'm surprised they are cutting off breakers. That smells like a lot of fake transaction fees they are missing out on. Have a great day. But Tigers 727. What's happening? Ziggy says, looking forward to your insights on eBay breaking. It's probably going to be a hot take. I don't think many people will like my take, which, spoiler alert, it's in the thumbnail. I think it's a great thing. Let's see. John says, will Slaughter be in the hizzy tomorrow? No Slaughter. I don't think anything's going on tomorrow. No Slaughter, no Queensryche. Bummer. Shane says, this news slightly confused me because as far as I know, you weren't allowed to do case breaks on eBay in the first place. Is this their way of allowing it, but with verified breakers? Essentially, yes, because Shane is correct. Based on terms and conditions, there are loopholes, and that's why if you read item descriptions on breaks, it's why it's filled with a bunch of weird language, because they're getting around the eBay terms and conditions. Paige and Deanie Bean, good morning. Ziggy says, in my opinion, this is the beginning of self-regulation. Sports cards and gambling are very close. 2 years ago, I would not have agreed with that. Today, I do. I think we are very close. Breaking is gambling. I mean, just what I talked about a few minutes ago about the card show. And now I have to give my dealers, which has been, admittedly, a law that's been on the books in the state of Wisconsin for more than 50 years. But it's just rarely been enforced. By the way, to my Illinois friends, there's a similar law on the books in the state of Illinois regarding temporary events. Language a little bit different, but same. They're starting to realize the unfortunate thing with the Form S-240 here in Wisconsin, eBay cutting off breakers. The unfortunate thing is it hurts the little guy. It hurts the random. And if you're selling cards, no matter if it's just a side hustle, it's a hobby. If you're making money selling cards, it's not a hobby. It's a business that is part of your hobby, but it is a business. If you're making money, and of course, Big Brother's watching and they want their cut, they want their sales tax, they want their income tax, they want the cheese tax for anybody that gets the dog cheese tax reference. But yeah, they're starting to crack down and it hurts, the guys that, the people that are going to be hurt the most are the guys making a few bucks. Like, it's unfortunate that, some of my dealers that just probably make $100, they're going to be chased down for, I don't know if they're going to be actually chased down, but it's the start of potentially being chased down by the Department of Revenue. Hey, how much money did you make at the Madison Card Show? Oh, you made $74. We want 5.5% of that for sales tax. Jesus. On an item that's probably been taxed 7 times before. So I get it. I won't go off on the tangent, but I will leave it with this. Similar to what John has mentioned a few times in the chat as we've talked about this. It's like, yeah, pay your taxes. But at the same time, sometimes there's just too much, especially when it comes to the secondary market. How many times are you going to tax one item? It was taxed when it was new. We're taxed on income. When we sell it, we're taxed on now the sales tax. And how many times is this? I sell it to you, you sell it to the next person, they sell it to another person. It's been taxed freaking 12 times. Same item. Shane says, thought that's why everyone sold signed index cards. Yes, that's the loophole. You are bidding or buying something, a signed index card, but you get all the cards from the team in the title of this listing. Where we at? Kyle in the house. What's up, Kyle? Zach says Jeff has bargain boxes that score 11 out of 10. Great guy too. Nice to kids and adults who are reliving their childhood. Endorsed. Yes, Jeff's awesome. Always good when I get that text. Hey, you got tables? Yes, I do. Ziggy says, do you need a bunch of sports card buddies to help you move boxes and furniture? Drop your addy in the chat. I'm dreading it. I do have movers, but I'm still gonna like move some stuff on my own. I'm actually putting an order in for shelving units today. And I'm just gonna. I've been like dragging my feet because I'm waiting on the basement's just a freaking mess, and now it's getting to the point where it's like, fuck it, I've got to. That's the third day in a row I've just dropped the F bomb. I need to stop dropping the F bomb. Where I just need to go in and just say F it and take a shop vac and get all the dust and everything else. My fear is there's going to be more dust. There shouldn't be too much more dust though, because the stuff that creates there's not much dust being created. Well, maybe, I don't know, but it's like at this point, it's like I've got to get started, because this in reality, I thought by early April I would be able to start moving boxes, and here we are, less than 1 month away, and holding patterns. I effing hate holding patterns. I hate holding patterns, and we're in a holding pattern right now. I'm in a holding pattern with my damn card show tomorrow. I can't fill my car up with my inventory because I've got bulk that I'm selling. Hopefully today, fingers crossed, throw that penny in a wishing well, wish at 11:11, falling star, all that BS. I'm in a freaking holding pattern. I hate holding pattern. That's where my stress comes from. The wait, the waiting. Tom Petty said it best. The waiting is the hardest part. Hoping the next 30 days goes wonderfully from here on out. It'll all be worth it in a few months. And it will. And that's a good point that John makes. It's very stressful right now. But in 2 or 3 months, when everything is finished, it's going to be like, oh, remember that time when we were stressed out because we couldn't move in on time? And by then we'll look back and, it's like, and I will, in full disclosure, I will miss part of this stuff because I have right now, and over the last 6 months, I've had something else to like break away from the monotony of shipping and listing and shipping. It's like, oh, I can run over to the house, talk to the contractors, and just break away for 15 minutes. And it's kind of nice. It's kind of like an unwind, like midday unwind. So I will miss that a little bit. I won't miss going over there and my mother-in-law is telling me 57 things that are wrong and stressing me the hell out. I won't miss that part. But I will miss just the, it's like, oh man, just break it away and going to check out the progress of the house. Ed, good morning. Zach says, Bo, you should take up cigars. A nice, relaxing way to come down from the reality of life, and doing it alone is just fine. I've never gotten into cigars. I've tried. I just don't like, do you actually smoke a cigar? Because I don't smoke. Every once in a while, take a hit, but I don't smoke. So is a cigar, do you smoke it? Do you light it and actually inhale? Because I wouldn't do that. I don't inhale. Or do you just like suck on them? That sounds gross. We used to, when I was in high school, college, I had some buddies that were big on cloves. You ever smoked a clove? They taste pretty good. And I know we were in high school because we would pretend that we were like 18. We're smoking cloves. Cloves are fun. I don't think I ever smoked a clove though. I just had it hanging out of my mouth to look cool. I didn't look cool. So I don't know. I've got a lot of friends that are into cigars, and I've just never really gotten into it. I'm not completely dismissing the idea unless I have to inhale. If I have to inhale, I'm not going to smoke a cigar. But I don't think you do. I think you just like, you light it and then you just kind of like stick it in your mouth, and I don't know. I love the idea of getting rid of bad breakers. I think they should eliminate repackers next. Yeah, I think on eBay for sure. And I think what you mean by repackers is like, do you mean like mystery packs? Not like the repacks that you get at Target or Walmart, but like the $10 for your chance to win a Luka Doncic rookie card or whatever. Because those are, I mean, that's essentially the same as breaking. So I would agree with that. We've got Johnny Boy Cards here. What's up? Good morning. Ziggy says, Hobby Move-A-Palooza July 14th until the National Moving Party. After moving him into the new house, grab a campsite in the backyard. Love it. Love it. Hey, speaking of paloozas, I had a chat with Mr. Moynihan yesterday. Appreciate the offer of being a part of Hobby Palooza this year. Unfortunately, I cannot make it work because Hobby Palooza is coming up on June. Is it 24th and 25th? I know it's the 24th is one day because that's a Saturday. It's whatever it is. It's Saturday. It's next Saturday and Sunday, which I will be. Is the bargain boxer in the chat today, Randy? I'll be down in his neighborhood. I'll be down in Champaign next weekend. So there will not be a Hobby Evolution next Saturday or Sunday because it's bachelor party weekend in Champaign, Illinois next weekend. So Mike said there's like a late afternoon spot on Sunday, and I'm like, I'm a 5-hour drive to home, and I don't know how I'm going to be feeling on Sunday. In fact, I don't even know what the hell we're doing for this bachelor party. I know it starts at like 11 a.m. Saturday mornings, which means I'll have to be up at the butt crack of dawn because I'm just going to drive down Saturday morning. And I imagine that means golf. I don't golf. And then probably hit the bars, and hopefully I'll be like asleep by 9 or 10. Maybe I can make it up until 10. Wild bachelor party when you turn 40. So yeah, depending on how it's like, I don't want to commit, and I know Mike can't have me commit to something that I can't commit to. And I'm like, I just don't know, like I don't even know the plans. Like, I don't know the itinerary. I know it starts at 11 on Saturday. From that point on, I have no idea. Are we doing breakfast on Sunday morning? I don't think a bachelor party is going to do like my wife, when she does her like lady get-togethers, there's always like a brunch, a Sunday brunch. I don't think dudes are even that we're adults now. I doubt we're going to do a brunch, but still 5-hour drive. I just don't want to risk. Okay, I've got to be home by 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. I just don't want to push it. So unfortunately cannot do Hobby Palooza, hopefully next year. So Hobby Palooza is, but it will give me something to listen to on the way home on the drive. I'll be able to listen to like 5 hours of it on Sunday. So where are we at? Oh, I had a dream. Something in what I just said triggered a memory of a dream I had last night. I had a dream that I was talking about rock bands, and maybe it was because I listened to Victor the Rookie Card Specialist video yesterday with Uncle Rich, and Uncle Rich dropped butt rock during the video. So I popped for that. Like, yes. So I had a dream last night, and that probably is what triggered a dream. I was talking about rock, and I don't know where I was at. I don't know who I was talking to, but I just remember saying that I was like explaining bands that I like, but I didn't like other, and I said girl rock. I don't even think that's like a term, but I remember saying girl, and I woke up and I'm like, what the hell is girl rock? I guess girl rock is like rock with a lead singer being female. And because there was one, because I'm like, I don't like girl rock, but I do like Hailstorm, Lizzie Hale, which is true. I do. That was a bizarre dream to have, but I think it was because of Rich dropping the term butt rock on Victor's show. Let's see. Ziggy says, amen, banning repackers is music to my ears. What percentage of the tax revenue do you get as a kickback? Tracy agrees with Dan on the repackers. Mike says, I think it's a great thing too. And that's kind of like when I first saw it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not upset by this. And I'm not upset by this news of eBay cutting off breakers. It doesn't affect me. So I understand, like, if I did breaks, I would be upset. But Mike mentioned, I think I saw a tweet and he mentioned it in the, it was a reply in a discussion on the Hobby Evolution Facebook group about it. And I'm like, yeah, I like basically everything Mike said, I agree with. So that's why I wanted to just share my thoughts, which basically mirror what Mike mentioned in the Facebook group. Harlan, good morning. Flipping Sports Guy says, where does he say that? Where are we at? Wait, eBay cut off breakers. How are they doing that? I don't know. They sent an email. So eBay sent an email out to like everybody, apparently everybody who has done breaks on eBay, and how they have that list. I'm sure they have a way. But even in the, one person that's a member of the Hobby Evolution Facebook group does breaks, and he was cut off and had some conversations. So how are they doing it? I don't know, but there's like a selected, you have to be like approved to run breaks on eBay, effective July 18th. We'll get into that here in a second. Sal Dougie, I'm going to the Madison card show tomorrow, but I'm not bringing any 80s hair bands with me. Damn it. Sal Dougie is not bringing Slaughter. Ripping packs isn't close to gambling. If it was, you'd find odds on the packs. Oh, wait. You know, Whatnot will thrive with this. Bad people don't go away. They just change the approach. There you go. Whatnot's like licking their lips. Because, I mean, at least if you're on eBay, if you're a bad breaker on eBay, you get found out pretty fast. If you're a bad breaker on Whatnot, they just slap your wrist and you're back in 7 days. So, yeah. They'll all go to Whatnot. Without taxes, we'd have 5 of 5 of Queensryche instead of the current 40%. Paul Heath in the house. We've got Alex here. Redbridge Sports Cards, good morning. There's a Blue Ridge Sports Cards on eBay, on Twitter that I often see, and I'm like, oh, hey, that's Redbridge. I'm like, oh, different color. Different color. Ziggy says, question. Canada has very strict laws on sports cards. They require a math question on the packs as a loophole to games of chance. Is Canada making it harder to import Topps cards now? I don't know. That was always a joke. I remember back in like when I was a kid, like that was a thing. Like, let's see if it's on any of the packs that I have here. But they did like the self-addressed stamped envelope for a chance to win a Glavin card. So this is Tom Glavin 93 Fleer. Is there so this one doesn't have the Canada, but yeah, you had to answer like a math question. So that was 93 Fleer. Did 89 Bowman have something like that? I'm trying to find so this is the Bowman baseball card sweepstakes. There's nothing about Canada on here. Maybe it was later in the 90s. Here, what's score select? Be strong, don't do drugs. So maybe we'll do this one today, because there's some fun stuff on here. Talks about the rapper, talks about not doing drugs. I think we'll do that one on Name the Player. Okay, so but yeah, the Canadian residents had to answer like a math question. Zach says, how about we move past the tax topic? Enough already. Let's talk about something more important like Matt Mervis. By the way, Matt Mervis got sent back to Iowa yesterday Matt Mervis back in AAA, which is good because the Iowa Cubs are holding Matt Mervis bobblehead night tomorrow. So Mervis gets to go back to the minor leagues and celebrate on his bobblehead night. Cody Bellinger was the corresponding move. Cody Bellinger was brought off the injured list. And so he's back, and he had I think he had a good game. I think he had 2 hits, 3 hits. I can't remember, but Cubs had a nice win, swept the Pirates. Where are we at? John says the tax entities will need way whether it's worth it for them to dedicate resources to collecting a few dollars from low-end sellers. This is meant to encourage self-reporting more than anything. I 100% agree. I think it's basically just a big old nasty gram to encourage people to self-report. I completely 100% agree. That's not advice, by the way, to get around it and not self-report because they're not going to dedicate the resources. That's just my opinion. And you do you, boo. You do you. Pay your taxes, don't pay your taxes. I don't care, but I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do. Kyle says, excellent videos on your YouTube, John. Really enjoy the stories, insights without any drama. John has an awesome channel. Check it out. That 70s Card Show. John says he has great writers and a solid hair and makeup team. That's what it takes. That's why I'm struggling. My hair, another bad hair day. Where's the hat? Tracy says, what brand of metal shelves are you ordering? I need to order 2 sets of them, Amazon. So these I ordered on Amazon. The batch I'm ordering now are from Costco. And I'm going to tell you why. They're a little cheaper. Shelves. I gotta bring this up anyway because I want to put the order in. So they actually had these on display in store the other day, and I do want them on wheels because I'm going to be possibly moving them around. Let's see. I think it's these. Just let me make sure the weight. So these are 36 inches wide. They also have, I think, 48-inch wide. So I'm going to just drop this link in the chat. Oh, yeah, here's the 48-inch. I'm just going to, because this is the one I'm probably going to order. The 48-inch. Actually, no, because I measured based on whatever I have in my basement right now, and I don't know if they're 36 or 48, so I've got to go measure. Okay, so what's the weight capacity? Oh, I thought this said what each shelf was. Specs. Unit weight capacity is at 150 pounds. I think it's 150 per shelf, 153. Nope, that doesn't add up to 800. I don't know, but here is a link. I don't know if you're a Costco member. If you're a Costco member, this link is good for you. Otherwise, something similar on Amazon. They're basically commercial grade wire shelving. You can get them in Amazon, Costco. In fact, I should probably price shop and go to Amazon just to see. Let's see. Shane says, do you really trust movers with all your cards? Yes. Well, yes and no. Do I really trust movers with all your cards? No. Do I trust movers with most of my cards? Yes. They will not be moving my inventory. They will be moving my bulk. My good stuff, I will move. My eBay store inventory, I will move. The rest, the movers will move. I would be moving all of those myself and hating every minute of it. Where are we at? Zach says, tax collecting was so much better in the 70s. Best decade ever for taxation. Vintage taxation stops in 1980. Don't at me. Alex says, when you give the government more money, they just create new high-paying jobs for their friends and family. I think there's a lot of truth in that. Kyle says, in another few months, you probably won't have to talk with dealers about the S240 form. It's a fact of life. Almost every state I ever went to had a similar form from 1997 to 2007. Well, that's good to hear. And really, it is a pain in the ass for me. It does create more work for me. And it creates more headaches for me. But it's my choice. Like, it creates more headaches and it creates more work. I can either do it or just stop promoting the show. It's still worth promoting the show for me. So I'm going to bitch about it, and eventually I won't have to bitch about it anymore because it'll just be another part of the show. But the good thing is once I save like the information, once the information is in there, hopefully I can just say, oh, this person, this person, this person. So that's one thing that I've got to go figure out. Once the information is in, is there like a checkbox where I can just say, hey, these dealers, I gave you this information last month, click, click, click. They're back in this month. Herman in the house. What's up, Herman? Flawed Thinker is here. Andy Mack is here. Good morning. Ziggy says blunts are better than cigars. Edibles even better. I don't really care for edibles. I don't really care for edibles. When I was in Amsterdam, I ate a brownie, but it wasn't like you could eat the whole brownie. Like, it was like, I don't know. I don't do the pot very often. So I don't know the terms of it. So in fact, I think Amsterdam, like 4 years ago, was the last time I dabbled. So I did the brownie, and I'm like, I don't feel it. So I smoked it, had a little puff, and I still didn't feel it. And I had another puff and another puff and another puff. All of a sudden, I think I was late. We get back to the hotel. I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden it hit me all at once. I'm like, holy shit. So I think that's why, because it's such a delayed, the edible. Kids, don't try this at home. I mean, Amsterdam does it right. You know, I'm pro weed. Like, it's freaking plant. Weed, I don't smoke weed. On occasion, I'm a beer guy. But I think weed is far safer than alcohol. And yet here we are in America, in the state of Wisconsin. They should be freaking spending their resources on getting help for alcoholics that have 11 DUIs every freaking weekend. John Johnson arrested for the 8th time for DWI. Like, Jesus. So that's my thought. Have a cigar. You're going to go far. You're going to fly high. You're never going to die. Savor the flavor. Smoke them like Bill Clinton. I never inhaled. Pink Floyd, one of my favorite grunge acts. Acquired taste. I'm not into beer. And I get it. Like, I'm not into, I don't do like mixed drinks. I certainly don't do shots. Ugh. I mean, I have, but I don't like it. Shane says you do not inhale cigars. It's for the flavor, but I'm not into them because they get soggy as hell and it's gross. John does vintage breaks. I get cards in return. Not sure where the gamble is. I win always. But you may not get the value, although it's perceived. Like, maybe you do get the value. Maybe the worth of a card is only $1 and you paid $10 for the break, but maybe you value that card at $10 or $20, or maybe you don't care. So I get it. Mark says my college dorm smelled like a marijuana dispensary. Roommate was a big fan. Cooter says good morning. Travel day for Cooters. Safe travels. Dave in the house. Who's a bigger douche? The guy buys a mystery pack or the guy that actually loads up a mystery pack? I don't any side of the mystery pack angle. Yeah, I don't like mystery. I think whenever I see mystery packs, and I see them at card shows, and I'm just like, rip off. And hey, maybe Maybe there are good repack. I know people on Twitter have done repacks and they get rave reviews, but it's not for me. Doesn't mean it's not for the next guy. It's just not for me. Breaking and repacks are two different in my opinion. I'm pro breaking, anti repacks. I think I'm on the same page with that. The manufacturer with a license and business versus dude in the kitchen with marked packs. Worse is breaker who repack like backyard. Yeah, I'm definitely pro breaking. I'm definitely pro breaking. Because I'm a team collector and I don't want to just buy singles. I don't want to just buy singles. I want to get the cards. Bowman. I don't want to go spend $200 for Christian Hernandez first Bowman Chrome auto. But I will spend $200 on a break because I have a chance, and I get it, and this is the gamble part. There's a chance I get that $200 card plus other cards. But there's a chance I get skunked and only get the base set and some inserts and maybe a color. I spent thankfully I broke the week of, and Matt Mervis was still hot. People were paying stupid money for him, and I pulled like a freaking base or a color base non-auto number to like 199, and I'm like, freaking, I'm selling this. I think I paid $200 for the break. I sold it for 100, the Matt Mervis number to 199. So that made me feel a little better because I didn't pull an auto in my break. There was not an auto for the Cubs. So I got the Mervis and I got a couple other color parallels, and then the team set, probably a couple team sets because it was a case break. So that selling that Mervis dropped the price, and I could probably go buy that Matt Mervis now for like $15-20. So I'm all about like, I'm going to sell, help me get some of my money back. Now I'm only $100, and I'm in $100 for a few base sets and a few colors, even though it's probably not worth $100. It's far better to swallow that pill than $200. James says, bring those card savers. You got it. I do. I'm bringing like 5 or 6 boxes of the card savers because I did put an order in, so I've got plenty. John says, try to get Hobby Evolution to go global. Bo decided a weekend of cornhole with the lads was more important. It is. Bo, there is no next year. Like Marlo against Omar, you missed your shot. Disappointing. Well, it is what it is. Zach and Porter says, is eBay pulling breakers and PWE shipping the same week? That is aggressive. I can't believe they are eliminating both. Zach is trying to start rumors. They are not pulling PWE shipping. Ken says, why do repackers need banned? If you don't like them, don't buy them. Show me on a doll where they hurt you. Ken must like repackers. I am not a repack fan. Flipping Sports Guy says, it's taken eBay 4 years and they still can't get buyers to pay immediately after an offer. I'll believe this when I see it. I have mixed feelings about paying immediately after an offer, because when you immediately pay after an offer, guess what happens? You're charged 30 cents, 30 cents, 30 cents, 30 cents. So yeah, if somebody comes in and sends you an offer on a $100 card and you accept and they pay immediately, that's great. When you sell low dollar cards and somebody wants 20 cards and you're like, yeah, I'll accept all of your $1 offers, and then they have to pay immediately $1, $1. Guess what? I lose money. Even though I sold 20 cards, well, it might be a wash because I'm sending in one bubble mailer. But that's in how they haven't figured that out. I'm shocked. I do get immediate payment on some transactions, but some, I'd prefer at this point, I'd prefer not to get automatically paid upon offers. Yeah, it's frustrating when they don't pay, but it's more frustrating when they're broken up into 20 separate transactions because they're paid 20 different times because those offers are immediately paid for. John says, Ken is the smart one here. TD Sports Cards, good morning. Just like people bitching about eBay sellers with high shipping fees, don't use them if you don't like it. That's fair. That is fair. Angel Baby Cards is in the house, a little late, but good morning. Flipping sports guy Zach is just joking, and there he goes. He confirms the joke. Cooter says, with their buyer protection program, I assume eBay is sick of getting asked to get involved when a break goes bad for any reason. Yes. So let's just 45 minutes in. Somebody's going to comment. There's going to be a comment today or tomorrow on this video. 45 minutes in and you still haven't talked about the topic. That's what we do here on Hobby Evolution. We just bitch and moan for 45 minutes before we talk about the topic. At least I didn't talk about taco pizza today or my neighbor's robot lawnmower. So eBay. So basically what happened was yesterday, eBay sent a message out to anybody who broke, apparently. Let's see. eBay. I'm going to try to find it. eBay break. Try to find this. So eBay sent this, this, I want to find the email. I know the email is out there somewhere. I've seen it. Of course, now I want to look for it and I can't find it. Damn it. Anyway, son of a bitch. Anyway, eBay sent this letter out to people who broke, and they're only allowing, effective July 18th, only approved eBay sellers will be allowed to list breaks. So somebody asked, well, how are they going to do this? Well, they've got people that it's just like any other item that can get shut down. You can't sell body parts. If you go try to sell your kidney on eBay, guess what they're going to do? They're going to shoot it down. So, and guess what? If you might beat this, you might get around it once or twice, but if they catch you, guess what they'll do? They'll suspend your ass or they'll just delete your account. So I wouldn't test fate here. But hey, I'm not telling you what to do. I would advise you not to. I would not test fate here. So basically, they sent an email out. Only approved breakers will be allowed to sell breaks on eBay. I think that's great. I think that's a great thing because there's a lot of bad apples. There's a lot of bad breakers out there. A lot of bad breakers, not just on eBay, but well, we know there's a lot of bad breakers on whatnot. And unfortunately, when you clean up, when you just with a broad brush, you're going to take out some good guys with it. And that sucks. I do feel for those good breakers that are getting swept under the rug because of some bad apples on the platform. But I do think it's great because here's the thing. Yes, you can choose not to break, not to buy into breaks. But if you want to get into a break, yeah, do your due. I read when I get into eBay breaks, and I do eBay breaks. And guess what? Most of the time when I break, 95% of the time when I buy into eBay breaks, I'm going to legit breakers. Badger Breaks is one that does a lot on eBay. They're a legit business. I'm not saying somebody doing it for a side hustle is not legit, but I'm going to feel safer with Badger Breaks than I am Joe Schmo in Kokomo. That's just the way it is. Unfortunately, sometimes Joe Schmo from Kokomo is a good breaker and provides a good service and is on the up and up. But, how do you know that? And that's kind of what I don't like about this is there was no approval process. It's just like, hey, by the way, we're shutting your breaks down effective July 18th. And they didn't give you didn't apply. There was no process. And there appears not to be an application process moving forward, at least as of now. That's what I don't like. The action I like. How the action was carried out, I don't particularly care for. Because I do know there's some good side hustle breakers that get swept into the mess with, hey, you're done. So that I don't like. But I do like, and I'm going to go back to, because I don't think I made my point. You can choose not to break. You can choose, but if you choose to break and you want to break, there are unscrupulous breakers out there, just like there are unscrupulous card sellers and unscrupulous people in every industry in the world. And you have to do your due diligence, but sometimes even doing your due diligence, you get caught up in, something that's not good and you get ripped off. And eBay's trying to prevent that from happening with this. So the action's good. I just don't really like how it was carried out. If eBay gets rid of PWE, I'll have to shut down my store. I'll have to. And Ken says that jokingly, but it's true. It's true. And that's when I started my business. I created a SWOT analysis, and that's a threat. One of the threats to my business is a postal rate increase on stamps. 60 cents is a really good price to send an envelope and some cards across the country. They raise that to $1 or $2. I can't stay in business with my current, how I do. So I've got to be aware, and I will bitch. You want to hear me bitch? I'll bitch then. But I understand, like, hey, that could happen. When you rely, and kind of like in keeping it with this topic on breakers, if you rely on other platforms, that's the chance you take. They don't owe you anything. They don't owe any of us anything. And they can take the rug right from under us. eBay can cancel standard envelope. Is there a workaround? Yeah, you can get old stamps. But if the USPS raises their stamp price to $1.50, and I'm just throwing numbers out. This is not serious, but it potentially could be a reality. That's something that when we rely on the USPS and other shipping platforms, and when we rely on eBay or Whatnot or ComC or Sportlots, we're relying on other companies and other businesses to run our businesses. So there's always a threat, and we do need to be aware of it. That doesn't mean we can't complain and bitch when it happens, because I certainly would. So John says, you need to be able to play the guitar solo of Tom Sawyer in order to win anything in Canada. Flipping Sports Guy, I was going to say, now that would be a horrible business decision for them. Repacks facilitates scamming. Whatnot facilitates scamming. Yes, there are some honest repackers, and yes, there are some honest sellers on Whatnot, but overall, they are terrible for the hobby. I don't think Whatnot is terrible for the hobby. I do think Whatnot facilitates scamming, but guess what? eBay facilitated scamming in the late 90s, early 2000s. There are still people in like my dad, like my parents' age, they still think, they're still afraid. Well, my dad's no longer with us. But if he were still with us, my dad would say, if I was going into business on eBay 2 years ago, Dad, I'm quitting my job. I'm going to sell cards on eBay. And my dad's like, people buy on eBay? Aren't there a lot of scammers? I wouldn't buy anything on eBay. There are still many, many people that think eBay is full of scamming and it's the wild, wild west, because for so long it was. eBay facilitated scammers in the early days. Whatnot is still in its early days. And that's why, yes, it sucks right now. There's a lot of scamming going on Whatnot, but there's far more good sellers on Whatnot than there are scammers and bad eggs, bad apples. So I agree Whatnot facilitates scamming, but it's still new. They're still trying to, work those kinks out, just like eBay did 20 years ago. I don't think it's terrible for the hobby. It might be right now, but I think if they right the ship, eBay righted the ship. If Whatnot can right the ship, it'll be a great platform. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all be, what's that saying? If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all be something. Kin says, I agree, Mike, which is why I stay away from them. But if others want to buy, that's on them. But single cards you actually want with money you actually have, and this hobby can be super fun. That's true. Mike agrees with Ken, but if I was a marketplace, I don't want to facilitate scamming opportunities for my customers, so I wouldn't allow them. John says Costco gives a rebate by there. That is true. But, so John, we're going to have to math it out. Because if I order online, I have to use my debit card, which I don't get cash back on my debit card. So what's my cash back? What's my rebate on Costco? If I spend that money on Costco, I don't even know if there's a percent. My wife gets those checks. So I don't get the rebate because I don't even see those checks. My wife snags those right from the mail. So maybe I will buy on Amazon because I can use my credit card, get the cash back, pay it off. Mikey Big Balls. What a name. My post office keeps sending my eBay standard envelopes back. I double check the weight and thickness. Everything is spot on. They told me too many people are scamming the system. Yeah. Your post office sucks. First things first, don't talk to somebody at your post office. I know that sounds backwards, but just don't. Don't take them inside to the post office. Drop them off in a blue box. I've had the same issue with one of my post offices, and now I just drop them in the blue box outside of the same post office, and I don't have any issues. If I drop them off in the post office, they must have somebody on staff that's bored as hell and wants to frickin' return to sender everything. But I just drop them off in the blue box, and they go okay. Knock on wood. Let's see. Cooter says, hopefully the Costco shelves have the auto assembly feature. I know. I've got a guy. He put my shelves together in the other room. Get the wheels. Bo doesn't use them, but they come in handy. So John, I will be using the wheels on the ones that I put in my, because I'm going to have so many, and I may move them around. So I will be using the wheels on. Now, in my eBay store room, like I'll have a room for my eBay store, I'll probably just use these that have no wheels. But in the card room, the massive storage room, that will have, I'll put the wheels on. Joe got his shelving at Home Depot. They also have them in a black finish. Card Hobbyist, good morning. Did I miss the main topic? Not really. We've just kind of danced around it, although I just talked about it, but I think you were already here. My dad ordered a desk off Mercari the other day for $50 free shipping. The thing ain't light. I don't understand how a company makes money off of something like that. There are a lot of things in the hobby I don't like. However, I don't shout that they need banned. I'm an adult and just ignore them. Let's see. Flipping Sports Guy says, go to the local postmaster. They're not allowed to do that. People have been scamming media mail for years, and the local guys don't reject all of those. That's just postal workers not wanting to do their jobs. Yeah, there is. I'll get, when I did a lot of trades, I would get people and I'm like, hey, don't do media mail. I ordered the biggest one that I got pissed off was I bought like this was back during the craze of wax, retail wax, mega boxes. And I bought like 40 mega boxes for like $40 a piece. What is that? $1,500, $1,600. And the effing guy sent them media mail. 40 blaster boxes, media mail. They were stuck somewhere for like 3 weeks. And I'm like, dude, like normally I don't care. Like I'm patient, but usually I'm buying like $100 or less cards. I'm not spending almost $2,000. And then I'm like, did you send these media mail? And so then it was a big thing. So he thought I don't know. I knew he wasn't scamming me because, he was scamming the post office, sending the media mail. But so I knew he wasn't scamming me because he sent them and I saw the weight and everything. I saw the label. But then he thought I was scamming him. And I'm like, dude, and I know he doesn't know me from the next guy. So he gave me he finally reluctantly sent me my money back like freaking 5 weeks later. So I told him, I'm like, here's what you need to do. Go redirect them because they're still sitting somewhere and redirect them back to you. This is after he gave me my money back. And, or maybe I had to do that. One of us did it, but they still showed up on my doorstep. So I sent them back to him, like a good little boy. But I'm like, dude, don't send anything media mail unless it's a textbook or a novel. Mikey Big Balls, one chat name of the day. Zach and Porter says, when I was in Amsterdam, is the pot a tech? Yeah, the pot. I've smoked the pot. John says, I don't drink or smoke. I've used edibles to sleep through shoulder pain in the past. And that's what I think. It's great for people with like pain. Like it's a great pain reliever, muscle relaxer. Without the side effects of getting hammered off alcohol. Bo did not exhale. Let's see. Card Hobby says, or when you reach midlife. Hobby News Daily says, preach, brother. Thank you. Where we at? We got a lot of chat. Hey, we're going to play Name That. We're over an hour in. We're still going to play Name That Player. Dan's in the house. What's up, Dan? Drink beer, start a fight. Smoke weed, start a band, right? Yeah. Yeah. How many weed fights? How many pot fights has there been? Marijuana fights, weed fights. How many bar fights has there been? The government should tax you higher based on the amount of DUIs you have. No shit. In Wisconsin, oh my God, it's crazy. Cooter says, in my opinion, the Dallas Card Show is propped up by all the Oklahoma dispensary owners who can't deposit cash from weed sales, but if they buy and then sell a sports card, the cash is now clean. A little money laundering. Clean that money, the Dallas Card Show. You singles club friends do a repack, essentially. Last year's national, they were selling backpacks. Some contained graded vintage cards, most did not. That's very true. That's a repack. It's very true. That is 100%. I did not buy a backpack. They did 2-3 years ago or whatever Chicago was, 2021. Or no, actually, I think it was 2019. They did, it wasn't backpacks. It was boxes. Like you bought basically a 500 count box, but there was like a slab in it or something. I think. Card Hobbyist says, I remember George Carlin's take. The great authors are alcoholics. People who smoke pot sit around and talk about if you put a hat on a dog, it looks like it could drive a truck. Hey, I've been hammered off of drinking beer and had similar conversations about putting a hat on a dog. Bo, I don't understand your logic. One, buying singles being a worse investment than buying into a break with a chance to buy the card straight up. I don't get it either, but that's how I think. Victor wants to know what the hell butt rock is. Oh, you must have missed our conversation last week about butt rock. Butt rock is like Creed, Stained, basically any rock band from like 1997 to 2003. Puddle of Mud, those types of bands. That's all butt rock. Creed and Stained are probably the Limp Bizkit. That's total butt rock. Let's see. Card Hobbyist wants to know, how long have you been thinking about that term? Jamie's in the house. What's up? The cost of hobby boxes these days, almost impossible to rip equal value unless it's the same week it's released. That's a lot of truth in that. Victor, the butt rock specialist. Losing money and leaving money on the table might have two different definitions. Philly Joe, are you in Carlson Cards Circle, Wisconsin? Yes, I know Austin. Carlson Cards. Austin runs the card show up in Stevens Point. Yes. Victor says it's an acronym for shitty rock, right? It is. I don't think it's an acronym, but it is shitty rock. It's not an acronym. It's just shitty. Victor, better cancel part 2 with Uncle Rich. I'll bitch all day about eBay sellers that charge $5 for ESE. And see, I don't. Now, would I do it? Hell no. Do I think sellers should do it? Absolutely not. But when I'm buying something, I don't care how it comes to me. I don't care what, if say it's a dollar card with $5 ESE, if it comes in a plain white envelope or a bubble mailer, I don't care. As long as it gets to me safe. I valued that card when I purchased it, whether by bidding or buy it now. I valued that card. Okay, I'm going to pay $6, and that includes shipping and tax. I'm going to pay $6 and whatever cents. If it comes in a plain white envelope, I don't care because I valued that card at $6. It got to me how I wanted it to get to me. Because the bubble mailer does, I mean, I'll reuse the bubble mailer, but I don't have, like, it's not like a make or break thing. I don't care if they make a few bucks off of shipping because I got the card at the price that I was willing to pay. Let's see. Sal Dougie says mystery packs are fun, but my max spend is $2 each. Kind of a sweet spot of getting some cool cards, but not feeling ripped off. George in the house. I've been trying to sell my dong for a while. Had no takers. Hobby News Daily says, I've recently been in eBay breaks with over 10 different new breakers I've never used prior, and so far all have been good to great. Some ship faster, but all have delivered what I hit. And, you know, I have, for the most part, I try to, when I break on eBay, I try to use legit breakers. But I have used, like, side hustle guys. And I only had one issue because I always make sure that base cards ship, all cards ship, and be careful with the term all cards ship because the term all cards ship might not be your base cards ship to your certain. If I buy the Cubs, read between the lines. Sometimes all cards ship means they're not keeping any of the cards. Your base cards may be in a separate spot. So a lot of Bowman is notorious for this and how breakers break Bowman. So all cards ship, it's true, but it doesn't mean if you buy your team, you're going to get the base cards. You may have to buy the paper base spot to get those base cards. So be careful. And that's why I read the description like 3 times before I bid on a break. The only time that I had an issue was it was an all card ship. And it was, and I read between the lines, it was, you know, your team. I got the package and there was no base cards. So I reached out and he's like, oh, most people, and he just said, and I don't know, he could have been legit, could have been an honest mistake, but it could have been trying to get one over. Like, I'm just not going to ship any of the base cards and we'll see who reaches out to me. And then if they do, I'll say, oops. Again, could have been a legit mistake. Might been trying to take advantage of buyers. So I reached out. I'm like, hey, I didn't get my base cards. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Most people don't want them. I'm like, well, I do. Can you send them? And he did. He made it right. And that's the only, and it became a non-issue. Like once I received the base cards, it became a non-issue. It was a small hassle that I had to reach out and say, hey, where's my cards? My concern with eBay is Badger and others will have less competition from eBay auction bids. Could be. Paige and Deanie Bean in the house. Oh, snap. I'm going to sell a signed index card and my kidney comes with it. I don't advise you to do that. But if you so choose, good luck. Rep and Rajon in the house. He's late, but good morning. Repacks are all about the expectations. If you buy a Fairfield box expecting to pull a rare card, you are going to be disappointed. That's true. That's very true. eBay doesn't like to slow dance. They shut things down they don't want to deal with, like PWCC. It's their prerogative. That's very true. That's very true. I use the average eBay sold price per team to determine fair pick your team prices. Without eBay, we will not have that competition as a buyer of breaks. This is a concern. That's fair. That's fair. George says, isn't a bulk buy nothing more than a big repack? Them Goodwill repacks. That's yes. That is very true. Biggest threat to Bo's business, Joe Schmo from Kokomo cornering the Goodwill pallet market. That's Goodwill pallets are a big source of my inventory. And I know that those could be pulled out from under me at any time. And then I've got to source from other, because Goodwill pallets, while yes, there's a lot of $1.50 free shipping cards in those, there's a lot of Luka Doncics that I sold for $25. Not as many Mike Trout rookies like the one that I pulled out of Goodwill pallet that sold for $600. Card Hobby says this show in its current form relies on YouTube. Absolutely. If YouTube shut me down, what would I do? Where would I go? I'd have to create a podcast, I guess. Alex says F, marry, murder. Oh, yeah, because I don't think you can say the K word on YouTube or Facebook. F, marry, murder. Matt Mervis, Ryan Sandberg, Mark Grace. Oh, man. Well, do I have to play this game? I'm not going to play this game. Not with three dudes. I'm not playing that game with three dudes. Sorry. Fairfield box is a manufactured box. I'm referring to breakers like RGL making repacks with second-year Mahomes as a chase, and surprisingly, his buddies are ripping his repacks. And I would agree with that. Addiction facilitates scamming. Everyone needs to scratch that itch. Fairfield are repacks from a distribution company. They are the dregs of what the hobby couldn't sell before. And there's an expectation, like there should be an expectation that you're going to get a bunch of shit in a Fairfield repack box. But when you pull a $3 Ken Griffey Jr. rated rookie, it's like, hey, look what I got. You spent $10 on the box and you got $4 worth of cards, but you're happy because you pulled a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, even though it's only worth $3. Dan says, Don Meredith once said, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. There you go. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. You do get cash back on Costco purchases. It's linked to your account, not your method of payment. I know, and my wife gets that. I don't see that. But my credit card cash back, I get and I see. Let's see. Always blue box your PWEs. Always. That's what I do. And don't ever take them in and talk to a clerk at the post office and say, are these okay to ship? Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be, nope, these don't pass the rigid test. Drop them in a blue box. Blue tape them too. This discussion has been great and all, but I'd really like to know what LRS thinks before we agree on the correct opinion regarding breakers and repacks. Can we at least all agree to that? Where's LRS been? I think he's been playing skill games all week. Hockey and soccer repacks are where it's at. Kyle says, why go somewhere? Why go to the post office? Your mail carrier will probably love you for giving them the pickup volume. He'll probably curse me. That's probably why he's been a lot friendlier lately, because I haven't been sticking all my PWEs in the mailbox. John says mail carriers are a fail point in the system. Mine is great, but a lot of cards disappear in the hands of mail carriers without question. George says, I bought 100 feet of film yesterday. Dude ain't scamming me, but he sold me something he didn't have in stock. Messaged me and told me it would be 2 weeks before he got it back in stock. Bummer. Can I ask the buyer beware audience, is the hobby for kids or grown adults that know better? I thought kids were present. What level of criminal activity? Do you say anything? Flipping Sports Guy says, you know it's a good conversation Friday when it's almost 9:15 and Bo hasn't mentioned name that player. It's a free-for-all. Name that state's tax code. Name that butt rock band. Hey, these are some fun games. Folks that complain about higher ESE prices are the same who want Costco prices at the Quick Stop. The technical term in radio was new metal. What is ESE? ESE, I don't even know. Oh, there it is. Flipping Sports Guy. eBay standard envelope. I totally should have known that. What does ESE stand for? Ah, yes, eBay standard envelope. Henry, good morning. Unfair field, he says. Keep loving the hobby forever, ESE. Ken says, my PWEs go in my home mailbox, 0 issues. And that's what I did when I had my first batch. The very first time I took all my PWEs to the post office, they all came back. They were on my doorstep, returned for postage due or whatever. Fortunately, they just wrote on a sticky note. And guess what I did? I took the rubber band off of them. I threw the sticky note away, and I stuffed them in my mailbox at the end of my driveway. My mailman picked them up, put them in his bag, and delivered them all safely to points everywhere. And we all lived happily ever after. Hey, Bo, longtime watcher, first-time chatter. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome to the chat. Bo missed the Pepino Man reference. What was the Pepino Man reference? So let's play Name That Player. Since we are an hour and 15 minutes in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's see the scores. We are playing Name That Player if you're new here. We open a pack of cards, and you guess. We're going to do Score Select from 1993. We've got a runaway in first place. Scotty Dubs, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 45 points for Scotty Dubs. Let's see. Then we've got 22 points apiece for Card Hobbyist and Uncle Rich, who I don't believe is here today. Flipping Sports Guy with 21 points. 16 for Flawed Thinker. 11 for Nick Budden. 8 for Mookie Chilson. 5 for Michael Renicky and Terry McDaniel. 4 for the Minneapolis Kid. 3 points for Dan, Korean Cardboard. 3 for Boyhood Breaks. 2 points for D. Young Cards, Brian M., Christian, and Mike D. Francesca. And 1 point apiece for Sal Dougie, Travis Bogart, Bink Scott, and Matt Like. So let's play the game. John says, I do not trust placing a PWE envelope in my mailbox. You develop that habit, and it presents an opportunity for someone to go shopping. So this is fun. On the back, there's be strong, don't do drugs. As we talked about smoking the pot earlier. I remember in Dare, they told us that this is what happens when you live in a small, conservative, Catholic town. Marijuana is a gateway drug. The pot. But yet the same people that are telling us it's the devil's lettuce and it's the gateway drug, the pot. The pot's bad. You're going to start smoking crack if you start smoking the pot. And they're out getting drunk, hammered, and getting DUIs. And bad words in my mind. Be strong, don't do drugs. The best athletes in the world take care of their bodies, their minds by eating properly, exercising regularly, and avoiding toxic substances. This is pretty ironic as we're going to open some 93 baseball. That means all drugs, including at least they mention alcohol, including alcohol, marijuana, crack cocaine, and steroids. Again, ironic, 1993 baseball. Drugs erode your body and diminish your ability to make clear decisions. So take care of yourself and take charge of your future, like Barry Bonds and Jose Canseco. They're professional athletes. They take care of their bodies because they avoid toxic substances like the pot and steroids. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Hard pass for Matt Like. Tell that to Big Mac and Sosa in 5 years. Are boner pills considered drugs? Hey, they could be. This is a drug. Caffeine. Caffeine's a drug. It's a gateway drug, too. I'm going to start smoking pot, and then after I smoke the pot, I'm going to start snorting coke and smoking crack. Not to start an argument, but more DWI arrests these days on drugs and weed than alcohol. Driving on either is a bad idea. Well, in Wisconsin, it's the beer. There's a lot of beer drinkers drinking and driving in Wisconsin. Here we go. First up, this is a tough one. Name that player. 1993 Score Select. Let's see. Landon only does caffeine on the weekends. Kent is not correct. Froworth is not correct. Russell is not correct. Lilliquist. Ooh, I like the reference, but not. Pitcher is correct, but we're not going to give you a point. Reed. I saw Reed. Yes. It's not Joe Schmo from Kokomo, but it is Steve Reed. Steve Reed. Flipping Sports Guy with Steve Reed. San Francisco Giants. Flipping Sports Guy. Oh, and he's now tied. We've got a 3-way tie for second place. He meant to say weed, John Reed. Oh, these are all like freaking horizontal. Another pitcher. Kansas City Royals. Who's this guy? Not Brown. Not Ashby. Meacham is correct. Flipping Sports Guy on a roll. He's got that. He's got the checklist out. Rusty Meacham. And he now takes sole possession of second place. Box 16 is created. We got to move box 16 because I have to. Okay, let's move box 16 over here. Now, okay. Now I don't have to do that. Ken's out. Ken is out. Okay, who do we got? We got I'm surprised your internet's lagging that far because this is not these answers have not been fast. Boston Red Sox. Not Molitor. Tracy says I had blocked out his time with the Royals. Not Bell. Not Reed. Ken must be on a 5-minute delay. Ken, where you at? Plenty of time. Oh, Phil Plantier's a good answer, but it's not correct. No clue, says Card Hobbyist. Smith is not correct. Tom Brunansky, another good name, not correct. Martin, what's up? Cordova, no. Boston Red Sox, outfielder, not Cooper. Ken, where are you? He must have left. Let's see. 276 batting average for the 1992 Boston Red Sox. Okay, going once. I don't have it. There's not much information on the back of this card. Going twice. Mike Summer at the buzzer. Bob Zupchik. Bob Zupchik. Mike Summer is on the board. Mike Summer. Bob Zupchik. Okay. I hate. Oh, hey, we're going to add a Cub card, though. Pittsburgh Pirates. Another pitcher. Pirates pitcher. Scotty Dubs. He has awoken. Scotty Dubs has awoken and nailed it. Tim Wakefield. Scotty Dubs. 46 points for Scotty Dubs. All right, Cubbies. Finally, we get a vertical card. Come on. Matt Like, nailed it. Derek May, we got to put him in the Cubby pile. Which ones haven't I counted there? I did update. Who got that one? Matt Like. 2 points for Matt. I think I've counted all of my. I think I am finally updated. 904,000 is the updated count. All right. Hey, hey, where's Tracy at? Another Royal. Was it Tracy that made that? Oh, this is. I don't think anybody's going to get this one. This is a tough one. Kansas City Royals. This might be his only baseball card. So it's not Seitzer, it's not Butler, it's not Morandini. This guy was drafted right out of high school, got his first taste of the big leagues in 1992, and found it to his liking. Well, of course. Let's see. Randa, no. Tucker, no. God Pufua, no. Beyond Kalana, no. Howard, no. Angel Baby cards with a paragraph, no. Bob Hamlin, no. Rossi, no. Bison Dele. Okay. Going once. Going twice. No point. Kevin Kozlowski. Kevin Kozlowski. Kevin Kozlowski. Okay. No point awarded. Okay. This I think you'll get. This. Oh, you should get because you can see his jersey. Oh, Sal says it's not his only card. Matt Like, fastest fingers. Tino Martinez. That was a gimme. Tino Martinez. Matt Like with 3 points. Matt, are you coming to the Madison Card Show tomorrow? I could not find that batch of Iowa cards, but unfortunately, no. Okay, then I don't have to worry about finding them, at least for tomorrow. New York Yankees pitcher. I met this guy. Great guy. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple years ago. It is not Leiter. It is not Far, nor is it Plunk. It is Scott Sanderson. Rest in peace. Flipping sports guy with the point. Scott Sanderson. All right. This is kind of a big, there's a lot of cards in this pack. Okay. Phillies. Card Hobbyist says it's official. I don't like the 93 select. All right. What do we got? Williams, Hollins. Hollins is correct. Scotty Dubs with the fastest fingers. Dave Hollins. Scotty Dubs back on the board. All right. Coffee drink. And here we go. Phillies. Again, Phillies. I see Mickey Morandini in the background. Relaford, ooh, great guess, not correct. Batiste, good guess, not correct. Thompson, no. Rollins, no. Rollins, no. Mariano Duncan, yes! Flawed Thinker. Flawed Thinker with the point. And you are now at 17 points. Where's my Tiger fans? Where's the Tiger fans? I think you'll get this one. Not Lemon, not Pettis, not Lou. It is Kyler. Milt Kyler, Flawed Thinker, back to back. Milt Kyler. Flawed Thinker with the point. 18 points. All right. We go back to another pitcher. We go to St. Louis. You might be able to read his jersey. Tewksbury is correct. Mike Summer with the fastest fingers. Bob Tewksbury. Mike Summer with 2. All right. This guy was he was a big deal. He was a top prospect, this guy. Tiger says it's hard to see on the phone while walking. Matt Like, wow, fast. Greg Olson, yes. Matt Like with the point. 4 for Matt Like. We're spreading the wealth today. Spreading the wealth today. Another pitcher. This is a pitcher pack. Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher. Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher. Nagel, no. Can you see? Can you see his jersey? Tomlin, yes. Oh, you could kind of see it. Matt with the point. You're at 5. I think you've had Is that 4 points today? 4 points today? Oh, last card in the pack. Where's Zach and Porter? Where's Zach and Porter? This is an easy. Here's a gimme. Last card is a gimme. Who's going to be the fastest finger? Matt again. Oh, just beat out Mike. Matt like with the point, because I think he's closer. Matt like 6 points on the game. Matt, you're in where? Cedar Rapids? Mike's is down in Bloomington Normal. I think Cedar Rapids just a little bit closer. So, Scotty Dubs extended his lead, 47 points. Flipping Sports Guy moves into second place with 5, 10, 15, 24 points. Uncle Rich and the Card Hobbyist at 22 points. Flawed Thinker moves up to 18 points. Nick Budden, 11. Mookie Chilson with 8. Matt Like climbing the standings. Now it's 6 points. I'm getting a call from potential spam. Michael with 5 points. Terry McDaniel, 5 points. 4 for the Minneapolis Kid. Let's see. 3 points for Dan, Korean Cardboard, along with Boyhood Breaks. 2 points for D Young Cards, Brian M., Christian, Mike D. Francesca, and Mike Summer. And 1 point for Bink Scott, Travis Bogart, and Sal Dougie. There we go. All right. Matt's 2.5 hours from Madison. Yeah, so it's what, 3? I think it's 3 hours to Bloomington Normal. Number of internet hops matters. Gotta go. Thank you, Martin. Sounds like some of your internets are on. I'm going to direct line into Bo's new house. The pot. Kids, don't smoke the pot. Bucket list is to answer one card right on the half, on the 1-2 dozen people who do name the player. Fry that spam and throw it on some white bread. Chad Smith in the house. So, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Don't smoke the pot this weekend. Or do. Or do. What else? eBay store link in the description. No Hobby Evolution tomorrow. So programming notes. No programming. No Hobby Evolution tomorrow morning. But you can come out and see me at the Madison Card Show. I'll have plenty of bargain boxes. See me upstairs on the back wall at the Madison Card Show, 9 to 3, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Free admission. Over 100 tables, about 110 tables so far. Hopefully we add a few more by tomorrow morning. I will review the Madison Card Show Sunday morning. We'll say around 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Next weekend, no Hobby Evolution, Saturday or Sunday. I'll be on the road, bachelor party weekend. So no Saturday show, no Sunday show next weekend. So with that, like, subscribe, shop around my eBay store. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Hopefully I see you tomorrow at the Madison Card Show. If not, we'll be back to review it on Sunday morning. See you then.